Coach Fairchild, thank you for joining us on the MWC.com.
My pleasure.
With being at Media Day, do you feel the excitement just around the corner of another season?
Yeah, I really do. When you come to this event, and also when you look at the news and the NFL teams are reporting, it kind of signifies the end of summer and kind of the reality of the football season's right around the corner.
Did you get a chance to relax at all this summer? Or
Yeah, I did. You know, it's a nice time. It seems like the summers are getting busier and busier with, we've got kids in summer school, and recruits nowadays seem to want to do a lot of it in the summer, so we have a lot of high school recruits coming through, and we run a few camps as well, but we do find some time to relax.
Can you talk a little bit about spring ball and what stood out in your eye?
Well, I think this is the first time since I've been the head coach where we've had this many guys that have played coming back, and also a returning quarterback coming back. So I think we're just a little bit farther along in spring than we've been in the previous years.
Can you reflect a little bit on Pete's first season at quarterback and what do you expect his progression to be?
Well, he'll have a tremendous career, and he certainly will take a big step forward this year, like all quarterbacks do after they've played. You know, we put him in a difficult situation last year coming right out of high school and starting, but he did a nice job, and he's a kid that, despite all his physical abilities, wants to be good, and I'm sure he's going to have a great career.
I imagine it should help to have some consistency on the offensive line protecting them. Can you reflect on those guys?
Yeah, my first couple of years we had 4 upper-class offensive linemen that ended up in NFL camps, and it just kind of happened in my third year that we had to replace that offensive line and replace a quarterback, which is difficult to do at the same time. But we worked our way through it. I think, like I said, I think Pete's going to have a tremendous career, and I think this offensive line can be as good as that other group. I think there's some potential NFL players in it.
In specific, are you talking about guys like Paul Hansen and Weston?
Yeah, Paul Hansen, is a tackle that's, started some as a sophomore, started every game as a junior, was a second-team all-conference pick. Weston Richburg is a tremendous center for us, as a freshman All-American. Very, very talented young man. Joe Caparilio, is a really outstanding young tackle for us that I think's got some a bright future for us, and there's more than that. So I think we've done a nice job recruiting, and we're starting to develop there. And like I said, I think this group can be pretty darn good.
Think you can have a lot of depth again at running back, and who do you think could step up for you guys there?
It's always different year to year. The year Gartrell had his breakout year, I honestly thought that we would play him and Kyle Bell. So we've got a lot of candidates. Raymond Carter's a senior that's got some big playability. Derek Good had a tremendous spring. Chris Wolke's very talented young back. And we've got some freshmen coming in that are exciting. So we'll see. Whether we do it by committee or somebody takes over really doesn't matter. But I think we've got some talent at the position.
Looking at your defense, maybe it starts with Michaelisson leading the country in forced fumbles last year. Talk about what an impact player he is.
He's just a playmaker. Michael's probably a good enough athlete to be a running back if we asked him to. He can get to the ball. He's good in space, which nowadays with the spread offense, you want your linebackers like Michael. Just a very, very good football player, leads our team, tremendous work ethic, tremendous character, and I'm sure Michael's going to have a tremendous senior year.
Something people might not be familiar with is that he actually is the active career leader in tackles for loss. Can you talk about how impressive that is?
Well, it is, and we're not a big blitz team, but the guy just finds a football, and like I said, he's hard to block because he's good in space, and very talented young man.
Who are some guys on defense that can complement his skills and help you?
Well, Michael Rackpo's another linebacker that I think is going to have a breakout year this year. Elijah Blue's a young man that started a couple years at safety, can really run. We're going to move him to corner. I think he's got a bright future at corner. We've got a lot of defensive linemen that have played. We're hoping to go 8, 9, 10 guys in a rotation there. So I'm looking for improvement in our defense. I think we'll take a step forward this year.
Now, I could be wrong, but Justin Hansen suffers from
Asperger's disease.
Can you talk a little bit about what an inspiration he is to his teammates?
It's funny. He was a young man at Longmont High School and came up to our football camp before his senior year, the summer before his senior year. I was almost embarrassed we hadn't already offered him a scholarship. He walked in. He was 6'5", 290, ran a 4.8 40, just worked his butt off. And I immediately offered him a scholarship, but as we got to know Justin and his family, just realized what tremendous people they were. Very excited to have this young man in our program. I think he's going to do some great things at Colorado State.
You have a lot of great character guys, it seems like, on the team. Another guy, Ivory Hurd, was just named to the All-State Good Team for his community work. Can you talk about what you see day in and day out with guys like that in the community?
Well, Ivory Hurd, he's a special young man. We ask our football team to do community service every year, and Ivory went to an organization called Respite Care. It kind of watches over some misfortunate young kids, and Ivory, he did his community service, but I think he developed a relationship with that organization, and now it's part of who he is, and gives back to the community, and just a great example for what a student athlete should be.
Certainly seems like you have a great team off the field that really gets it. Can you talk about maybe some on-the-field expectations for this season and goals for the squad?
Well, I think we need to take a step forward. There's no doubt. I think we've got some very talented football players, and we have had a tremendous offseason. I know we'll play hard. Just see where we go. I think we're going to have a good year.
Coach Fairchild, thank you for joining us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.